debt?
Three things mainly.
Yeah.
One is lack of transparency.
Okay.
People are very confused of what's happening. How do they get into the debt? How do they manage debt? And how do they repay the debt?
Yeah, yeah.
The second one is it's complex. Let's be candid. It's complex.
Yeah.
Funding and education is complex. And the third is there's too many moving parts. There's people that focus on the college planning. There are people that have worked on the student loan repayment, but there hasn't been a holistic solution across the board.
Yeah. So you talk about the solving the student debt crisis. Mm-hmm. This is a big undertaking.
It is.
I mean, and Fred, you look at your mission. You look at what you and Fred say about solving the student debt crisis. I mean, that's like, it's like going from here to Mars and back.
I always call it the big iceberg. There's a huge iceberg out there, but only people see the tip of it, and that's the student loan repayment option that everyone's looking at.
Yeah.
So what Fred and I said, it's not only solving it, but preventing it. That has to start. So let me just give you some statistics so you get around.
Please.
There's about 50 million people that are affected by this.
Okay.
So there's 23 million people in repayment.
Okay.
There's 21 people in school right now with debt.
Wow.
And there's 2 million people this year will enter into higher education, taking on some sort of financial debt.
Yeah.
But we expand that because that might be the seniors in high school, but you have the freshmen, sophomore, and juniors that are planning.
Right.
So you add all those numbers up, it comes about 50 million.
Wow.
I'd actually submit to you that it's bigger. Mm-hmm. There's 57 million people in elementary and secondary schools. So this problem's here, but it's growing.
Yeah.
And so all the challenges that we talked about over the phone was, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? People are paralyzed.
Yeah.
So what Fred and I and the rest of our team at PayForEd said, how do you break down a big problem?
Yep.
You break it down into smaller chunks.
Right.
So we think about 3 things. 1, inform.
Yep.
2, educate. 3, action.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can inform people, they can make educated decisions and give them options to take action.
Yeah. I mean, what are the the problem is obviously pretty massive, right? Mm-hmm. What are these steps that we're talking about now, right? Where you inform people on what they're about to get into.
Yes.
I mean, they're making, a lot of these people, parents and students, are making these decisions to go to schools that they can't afford. They don't have the money saved for higher education.
Correct.
Then when they take out loans, whether it's a private loan or
federal loans,
a federal loan, right? They don't understand the ramifications of the payment down the road.
It's the biggest problem. People don't understand the financial outcomes of their decisions.
Right.
So what do we do? You think about all those challenges that you just mentioned. What are we doing? And as a community or as a economy or a society,
a nation,
as a nation, we're not giving people the right guidance, and it's because we're disconnected. You've got people that are lending money. You've got people that are getting the money back on the service loan providers. You've got people within the government funding those assets, but no one's really talking to each other.
Yeah.
In addition to,